Space Coconut.
Okay, today we're going to talk about Hex Undying and what hex perks work the best with it. Now, Utz might have made a similar video and deleted it, but sometimes creative geniuses have similar ideas, so here's mine. Before I get into this one, I want to encourage you to hit the sub button if you're new, and hit the bell if you don't want to miss any videos in the future. If you want to talk about anything you see in my videos, come chat with us on Twitch every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. You can also join the Discord if you want to chat with the community and be aware of any events or random streams that happen during the week. Links to everything are in the description. A Hex Undying says, a hex which maintains the vile powers that flow throughout the trial. While Hex Undying is active, survivors within 2 meters of any totem will have their aura revealed for 6 seconds. When another hex totem is cleansed, that hex transfers to an available dull totem, losing any tokens in the process. Now, while I can rag on the devs and bring up the fact that this is yet another solution to a problem in the game that we have to use perks for instead of the fix being implemented in the core game, I can save that for a future video and instead focus on the strength of this perk and the changes to the meta that we may start to see because of it. The biggest weakness hex perks have is the ability of survivors to completely remove them from the killer's loadout. Add this to the fact that many totem placements are easy to find and you have a recipe for a set of bad gambling perks. Hex Undying changes that slightly. The new problem hex users now face is which hexes to use with Undying. The worst hexes to use with Undying are the hexes that require tokens to function. These are in order of worst to best: Huntress's Lullaby, the Third Seal, and Devour Hope. The effect Lullaby gives isn't very good until you've hooked about 4 or 5 survivors, and chances are high that your survivors will find and remove this totem, forcing it to lose all tokens before it has a chance to have a powerful effect on survivors. The Third Seal is better because the only requirement for tokens is to hit survivors with a basic attack, so it's very easy to build your tokens back up, and the effect can do some work for you, but in my opinion it's not so powerful that it'll win you games. Devour Hope is the exception to the rule here. At 3 tokens, survivors gain the exposed status effect, and you can really destroy teams when this goes off. If you can score 3 tokens before it's cleansed, you should be able to get a down or 2 before the tokens get reset when a survivor cleanses it. This effect is very powerful and worth the gamble that you'll be taking by using it with Undying. The next worst hexes to use are the ones that are also band-aids for the totem mechanic that have been introduced already: Haunted Grounds, Thrill of the Hunt, and Retribution. Haunted Grounds is my favorite to pair with Undying. With these 2 perks, 3 totems become live, and if a survivor cleanses one of the Haunted Grounds totems, it will immediately respawn at a new location. The problem is that neither of these perks do anything to affect the game on their own, and smart survivors won't cleanse them unless they know they're being affected by a hex. This means that you'll need to pick a 3rd hex to serve as bait, but in doing so, only 1 totem will be allowed to respawn, because all of the other dull totems will be lit. And this is when it becomes a gambling build. Survivors have a 1 in 2 chance of cleansing Haunted Grounds in a 3 hex build. Gambling isn't reliable, but it can be fun when it works out. The Thrill of the Hunt will slow the cleansing action for survivors as well as provide you with a notification that they're working on one. This is helpful because you'll completely miss the aura queue from Undying more often than you catch it. It will also give you more time to react to defend the totem, but depending on which killer you're using, it may be a lost cause, since this doesn't do anything else other than protect totems to a degree. It's really not worth the slot to pair it with Undying. Retribution is slightly better because it'll give you aura reading for a period of time so you can capitalize on it, and if another hex is cleansed, you can gain more aura reading. Unfortunately, the more hexes you use to gain value from Retribution, you lose dull totems, losing value from Undying. The aura reading from this one may not be worth it. The next on our list of hexes not to use with Undying is actually Noed. While Noed is the best standalone hex perk, pairing it with Undying might be a bad idea. Undying is a live totem, and chances are very high that it'll get cleansed before the endgame collapse begins. Undying doesn't replace itself, so Noed won't respawn if Undying is cleansed before it triggers. Also, along with the release of Undying, there's a chance that survivors will choose perks to help them deal with totems, allowing them to clear all dull totems, preventing Noed from activating at all. Without Undying, Noed is still the best hex perk. but unfortunately I don't think it will work well with Undying. The remaining perks, Blood Favor and Ruin, are the best tactical choices to pair with Undying. Although one is clearly garbage, these perks are active through the entire match and don't utilize tokens, so they will have their full effect even after they're cleansed. Blood Favor is a bad Hex perk, but since you're not an idiot, you'll probably use Ruin instead. If you choose to run Ruin and Undying, it's important to understand that survivors will have a 50-50 chance to cleanse Undying first, preventing Ruin from respawning when it's eventually cleansed also. This is a fair gamble, but who likes to play fair? And this is why I suggest that when you use Undying, you use Haunted Grounds and another perk to put the odds in your favor. Out of 4 totems, Undying, 2 Haunted Grounds, and your primary totem, survivors will have a 25% chance to choose the right totem the first and second time. But there's no guarantee when it comes to Hex perks. Whether totems get cleansed or not is up to the survivors you're up against and the excellently coded totem placements. So who knows? In the end, this is just my opinion and thoughts on the perk. It's still just another Hex. What really matters is what the rest of your build looks like, and whether RNG is in your favor or not. Let me know what you thought of this little study. I'm happy to see whether you agree or disagree, and we can have a nice little discussion about it. Like the video if you like the video, and dislike the video if you really like Band-Aid perks. And until next time, I'll see you in the fog.